decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional.
Hello and welcome to this broadcast for FiDE, the Foundation for Intentional Decision, which is also Latin for trust. And my name is Stellan Nordahl, and together with me I have Jens Rinnelt. So please, Jens, what are we going to experience here together?
Well, this program is about exploring the fundamental assumptions that we have as people and exploring what, first of all, are these assumptions, and can we choose different assumptions, and maybe what would be the implications for a society, a way of organizing, a way of living based on different assumptions.
Yeah, what you're actually talking about is different worldviews, the way to look at life, to look at the human, to look at the nature, to look at organizations, to pretty much everything in life, right? So I guess that exploring it will be very interesting, and you've been actually exploring this topic for quite a while yourself.
Yes, you can say so. And I was thinking when you said this, can we explore life itself? That is a thought that I was having, or how can I say it?
Yeah, and that's a good question. And I would say exploring life itself would probably create a worldview also. Both having one, it's more or less that you're given a worldview as you were born, but it's also something that I believe you can choose. Some kind of a intentional decision behind it, and something that is also more or less creating everything in your life, depending on how you look at your life.
And I think you already touched upon one of the core assumptions that we at least have identified so far and believe in, is that we have a choice. That there is always a choice in how I want to react or want to be acting, intentionally choose my response in any context, environment. And what we will be exploring in this program is also, are there other fundamental assumptions? Do we see other fundamental assumptions from philosophical point of view, but also from older, how can I say it,
couldn't you say a practical point of view also?
Yeah, that was what I was going for, but we talked about, for example, the Maya. How have they chosen a worldview? The Egyptian people, how do you call this?
The Greeks and also different parts of the world as we know it today. You and I will live in a Western world society. We live in a free democratic country. How does another context, idea context, how does it influence your worldview, and what does it mean if you understand that there are some assumptions behind everything, and what if you can choose another assumption, and what will that do to your life, to your society, to your worldview?
And this will not only be a philosophical exploration, but as you already mentioned, this is also going to be a very practical way of how can we apply this thoughts, these abstract thought models in our day-to-day life, in our day-to-day decision making, in the way that we work, in the way that we live, in the way that we organize society. So what are the implications and applications for different contexts of these thought models?
Yeah, and you who will listen or maybe view those dialogues between the two of us, me and Jens, will hopefully also be engaged in the dialogues in some way. Maybe it arises some kind of a inner feeling, something you resonate with, or maybe you don't resonate with. Something that is touching upon the core of yourself. And if it does, this is very interesting, and this is also something we want to engage you in, to be part of that dialogue. So please comment, contact us if you like, and we will explore not only different worldviews, but also how to choose them. How can you actually make a new assumption, and how can you find ways to create and navigate in those worldviews, and what happens if you find a way to do it. For instance, setting a goal, using a guiding principle, whatever it is that you use to be able to create in that worldview.
So do we also put on different lenses? Do we look through the eyes of different worldviews in this program? Is that what we could say?
Yeah, definitely. I guess we could definitely do that. And also, as we use another lens, then explore the whole result of that lens. Take any assumption, like in Western world we have been raised by competition. We have been told that competition is the way forward. And what happens if you choose another one? For instance, you working together, it sounds like almost the same, but you also realize that it's probably not on the same worldview at all. It's actually two different angles to look at life. So, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it will be interesting to look at specific contexts, specific examples through different lenses, and then see, as you said, how can we gain a more holistic understanding of where we're looking at, what we are looking at, and can we see maybe even an evolution in worldviews, where we see now new things that we haven't seen before by using different lenses.
And it affects all parts of our life, both the practical parts, the mental parts, the spiritual parts. Some worldviews separate them, other worldviews connect them. Some worldviews don't even separate them from start. And what happens if we can find, as you say, a way of finding we can use the term more holistic than that we are in right now, and that is from any point of view that you have right now. How can I find a more life-affirming worldview, something that is taking both me and my organization and my society forward, and also to find, how can I say it? Life affirming is one way to put it, but also a more gratitude to what is, to see that life is something we can explore together.
One last aspect that I would like to mention is consciousness in this setting. And well, I guess there are different ways of how you can define consciousness, and for me, consciousness is the understanding that we have of the world, our awareness level, so to say. So what are we able to see and make sense of? And as you said, with the body, with a physical, but also mental perspective. So what are we able to see in the world? And what I want to say about this is connected to what you're saying. Where do we stand maybe with our own consciousness right now, also on a personal but also on a collective level, and what are possible explorations into a new level of consciousness, if you can say it like this. What are you spoke about life affirming
what emerges from that worldview.
Exactly. And then what if can we see a way forward, or a new consciousness level emerging, a new awareness of how our understanding of the world evolves, how we look at the world, and what are the principles, organizing principles and fundamental assumptions behind these, as you said, more holistic worldviews.
Yeah, it's at least for me it sounds very interesting and intriguing. I would like to explore this, and if you want to join us in this exploration journey, whatever we can call it, please support us also. We started out a couple of weeks ago with a live broadcast there where we engage a lot of people on a lot of different concepts, and in connection to that we also set up a Patreon account. So go to patreon.com and support us on Best for the World, and that is the live broadcast we do together with different concepts, but it's also a way of supporting what we do, even if it's not directly directed to us here in this podcast or broadcast, but also a way of telling the world that this is something you want to know more about. So please do so. And that was approximately what we wanted to share with you for this introduction. And we are planning for approximately 10 episodes of this podcast and broadcast. So we are going to explore those topics both on audio files, on where you ordinarily find your podcast, like Acast, Podcaster, Spotify, and so on, but also on the YouTube channel. So please join us wherever you are, and please comment and engage in the dialogue.
I have a challenge for you now, Stellan. Can you, in one sentence, describe what this FiDE program is about?
Yes, this FiDE program is to explore life. Thanks.
Thank you.
See ya. Bye. Bye, Jens. Take care.
Take care, Stellan.
We are creating the world we're now living in. We are competing in. We are repeating in. We are believing in. It's time for us to shift our mind from best in the world to best for the world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional.